Hey everybody, Chad Wesley Smith here for Juggernaut Training Systems with another video in our Addressing Weak Points series. Today we're going to be talking about the bench press and fixing things right off the chest. So if you struggle for those first few inches off of the chest, we're going to show you some exercises and strategies to help you fix that area of your lift. If you're struggling off the chest in the bench press, that is going to be a deficiency of your pec strength. The bench press at its core is a pec exercise. If you go to 24-Hour Fitness, you see the diagram of what muscles are being used. Pecs are shaded in the darkest, and that chart is clearly science. But for a long time, I think people diminished the importance of the pecs in the bench press, and that was a lot of information coming from equipped lifters where the bench shirt is assisting more off the chest, so they would place a greater emphasis on triceps. But for the raw bench presser, strength off the chest is going to be highly dictated by the pecs. If you're struggling in competition when you have to pause bench and you're not pausing your benches in training, that's a really simple fix. I encourage people to pause the first rep of every set, but if you feel like your touch and go bench is way ahead of your pause bench, you could go ahead and pause every rep. I'm an advocate as well of pausing a little bit longer in training than you would expect you need to in competition. Wide grip bench is going to be a great way to target the pecs as well. Assuming that your shoulders are healthy and can tolerate this, moving your grip a minimum of 2 inches wider than your competition grip would suffice for a wide grip bench. Anything smaller than that 2-inch change probably isn't going to give you a novel enough stimulus. But the wide grip bench is going to be really effective training the chest. You just have to be mindful to keep the shoulders healthy, and you can pause wide grip benches as well. If you're a lifter who gets a really tight, big arch in your setup, maybe has great leg drive, but still finds yourself struggling some with the low end strength, feet up bench press can be a really effective tool there. Whether your legs are straight out, like what people will call a Larson press, or your feet are on the bench, either way is fine. It's just going to eliminate your ability to get that big arch in your setup and use leg drive and really force your chest to do a lot more work. Dumbbell bench pressing variations are great, particularly when you keep in mind to extend the range of motion a little bit. The dumbbells allow you to get a really deep stretch, and though some people will try and go really heavy on dumbbell presses and maybe shorten their range of motion, that's not going to be an effective builder for strength off the chest. So if you're going to use the dumbbell bench press as it, make sure to let your pecs stretch at the bottom. A highly underrated exercise for strength off the chest in the bench press and gets kind of a bad name as like a gym bro lift are flies. Whether it's dumbbell flies or pec deck machine flies. Flies are a great exercise for building pec hypertrophy and strength, and in the long run are going to help your strength off the chest, though they're another exercise that you're going to have to be mindful of shoulder health with, and you don't need to go overly heavy on the flies, keeping them more in the 8 to 15 rep range as an assistance movement in hypertrophy and general strength phases will be great. General hypertrophy training for the upper back and chest is going to be really helpful for strength off the chest, as it's going to improve your mechanical advantage by just putting you in a better position to press, because those big upper back muscles will keep you a little bit higher on your traps. Big upper back and pecs are going to mean that you don't have to move the bar quite as far. Finally, explosive exercises like push-ups onto a box where you jump up and then walk back down can be really effective for building some explosive pop off the chest. So if you're struggling right off the chest in the bench press, give these exercises a shot. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out this video about addressing weak points for the bench press. If you're interested in more ways that you can improve your bench press, from warm-up, technique, exercise selection, program design, and programs for beginner, intermediate, and advanced lifters, check out the Bench Manual by me. We also have Squat Manual and Deadlift Manual available.